Yeah, the wilderness got updated and it looks the exact same. There's just more dungeon nodes everywhere. Or I completely missed them. Also, I have no clue how to use this sword shop, because, like, there's no sword shop there. I guess it's probably something that happens after Beneath Cursed Sands. Yeah, I got to a mill. And then I stopped because I got tired. We're gonna hopefully get to 2 mil today, which is gonna take 5 hours. I need to do 8 to 10 hours today to make up for yesterday, and I'm gonna need to do 8 to 10 hours every day to make up for yesterday. Oh yeah, I hit 86 agility. Basically, I need to level up 2 more times to get the maximum XP out of this. I've not done a run. I have done runs since I leveled up. Yeah, I have. Yeah, need a lot of XP. So I was getting 980 yesterday at level 85 for completing. Plus the 722. You're getting over 1000 XP per lap, basically. Which is bullshit. It's garbage XP. But we're gonna go and check how much I get now. It should be a bit better. A tiny, tiny bit better. Literal margins of a percentage better. $988. We got 8 more XP for leveling up. For a about like 15-16 hour grind on the pyramid, we get 8 more XP. I wonder how many laps I need to do to beat out the guy that went from 55 to 99 on the pyramid. I mean, I'm guessing 25,000 laps will put me at number 1 for laps on this fucker, but I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I don't think... Okay, so recently there was a poll about the fucking new skill. And the poll was about some skills. There's one of the proposed skills I said I'd be fine with. It would have to be reworked a tiny bit, but the idea in general makes sense and is coherent, unlike literally every other proposed one. But anyway, the one of the questions on the poll, I did both polls because I felt like it. But yeah, one of the questions on the poll was what kind of skill, and they did options, and those options were combat skill, a utility skill, a gathering skill, or a I forget what the fourth one was. I actually don't remember what the fourth one was. It was utility, combat, gathering, and then the other one I think was a crafting skill. Yeah, crafting, I think. Because utility skills that they listed are construction. I think Slayer counted as one. Yeah, I think it's literally agility, Slayer, and thieving. Hold on. That's like actual garbage. Hold on. Utility skills OSRS. I don't want to show what I voted for on stream. I already know people aren't going to like that I think this game could use more skills. Obviously, I think that. More shit to do is always good. If the main reason why this game exists is because they fucked with the combat too much in RS3, then obviously don't fuck with the combat. I think the combat's fine. Yeah, there could be more shit with it, but I think that it's fine. I don't want a carbon copy of WoW. I don't want a copy of fucking Final Fantasy Online, or ESO, or any other MMO. Like, yeah, this combat system is very simplistic in a sense, but it's also very unique to this game, I feel. Because I've played a lot of MMOs. A lot of MMOs are a hell of a lot more complicated than this with their combat systems. It makes them very arduous to get into. Hell, fucking Granado España fucking it took that idea and just ran with it with every element of its game. I played like fucking 5 minutes of that fucker, and I could not stand it. Who thought that it would be a good idea to give you control of two characters simultaneously? Cough, cough, Jacob Lee, Sal, and fucking Binding of Isaac. Controlling two characters simultaneously is literal ass. It works with some RPGs, like actual JRPGs, RPG Maker games. It works with shit like that. It does not work in an MMO, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway. The combat systems, in a sense, kind of scream very old to me. Because they are very old. They're simplistic. They make you think of older games. You would not play fucking Mario Galaxy 2 and think of, oh, this reminds me of Mario Bros. 1. No. You play OSRS and you think, oh, this reminds me of a bunch of old fucking games. It's very simplistic. You're not going to be constantly doing 500 different things just to kill one enemy. I mean, the combat can get complex, but for low-level non-boss enemies, and for not PvPing, you're going to not have to concentrate that hard. For low-level fights. For most fights, toward the start of the game to where I'm at, if you're not bossing, literally all you do is go into the combat options, pick one of these, and then you just click. and then you're done. You've killed the enemy. As long as it's not a very hard-hitting enemy and you have no armor, you've killed it. Then you get into bossing, and it gets more complicated. Because now you can fucking flick prayers and do magic with your runes. You could technically go and do your ranged with magic in between attacks while you're flicking prayers on and off. It gets a lot more complicated the further you go in. Like, I've learned the basics. I've not even learned how to fucking flick prayers properly. I've not even learned how to use magic properly. There's a lot to learn in this game, even for how simplistic it feels. Because it may feel simplistic, but it's only simplistic if you're really early. If you're trying to protect from PKers, it gets really fucking hard. Because then you have to know how to flick prayers. You have to know all of this other stuff. I'm gonna have to develop a bunch of different skills just to be able to not die in the wilderness. And even then, I might not fucking survive. That's how difficult this game can get. It starts off easy, and you slowly learn more the further in you go. That's how a game should be, in my opinion. Because if this game would throw in prayer flicking and all that bullshit immediately off the bat, and you had to like learn it on tutorial fucking island, that would be insane. There would not be a lot of players in this game. If a brand new player had to learn how to fucking flick prayers so that they have basically constant uptime on their prayers, that would be abysmal. It'd be useful to know, but it would be very, very difficult to learn right off the bat. People said that once you get member, you kind of get overwhelmed, and I kind of agree. Membership is kind of overwhelming, but it's not overwhelming because for a good reason. It's overwhelming for a bad reason. You're locked out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different skills. You're locked out of 8 different, very useful skills. All of them are obscenely useful. You want all of them to be, well, you want most of them to be 99. You want your herblore to be 99, you want your agility to be 99, you want your construction to be 99, and you want your hunter to be 99. And maybe even farming and thieving. Slayer 2. Fletching is not so much, unless you're an Iron Man. So basically, you want all of these skills, and you want to get them up as high as you can. That's overwhelming, because suddenly, with the flick of a switch, with redeeming one bond, there's 8 new skills that you want to level up as fast as possible to as high a level as possible. And then on top of that, you finally get access to around 90% of the map. You get access to the other 60% of the free-to-play area. You get access to the rest of the map. It's a lot. You get access to the other 70% of every skill in the game. You get access to all of the mini games. You get access to better gear. There's so much new shit when you get to member. I can see why people get overwhelmed. And it's not a good thing at all. I understand limiting the free-to-play people to Rune or something like that. I don't understand limiting them to not being able to train agility, to not being able to fletch. Those should be free-to-play skills, in my opinion. Yeah, they're highly useful, but you can't even fletch a lot of the fucking fletching shit off the bat. You'd be able to fletch some bows. You can't do anything with magic. You can't make a magic short bow. That's not a thing. There's no magic trees in the free-to-play area. There's no way to get magic logs in free-to-play. So it's not like they're suddenly going to get 20 times stronger. They'll just get one bow. And maybe if they grind up to 99 mining, they'll be able to get some rune arrows. Which they can already get. They'll just be able to craft them. For, you know, like a couple week grind on fletching and a month or two grind on mining. Like, it's a lot. On top of that, you cannot do most things. The fishing is severely, like, choked out in free-to-play. The best fishing that you can get is technically a dark crab in the depths of the wilderness. No one's gonna do that. So the best you can actually get is a swordfish. And to get a swordfish, either you have to pay a boat to get to one, or you have to beat Dragon Slayer 1. Or go into the depths of the wilderness. Those are your three options in free-to-play. That's the best you can get. It's a mid-tier food. Your ranged is completely useless as soon as you hit level 30. I'm level 80 ranged. I hit level 80 ranged in free-to-play. I couldn't do anything with the 50 levels I gained from 30 onward. They were completely useless. You can't get a U-bow. You can't get a magic bow. You can't get like any crossbows. There's so little you can do with ranged. And then with attack, if you're an Iron Man, you can't get any good melee weapons. The best melee weapon you can get is the Baronite Mace, which takes like a couple days of grinding, maybe a week of grinding, could be even a month of grinding depending on how lucky you are. Which is awful. You could technically go get a rune sim, but as an Iron Man, if you go for a rune sim, you're fucking insane. You're gonna grind 99 fucking smithing and like 80 or 90 fucking mining just to get a fucking scimitar to do slightly more damage than a Baronite Mace that you could get in like a week at the most. It's insane. There's also not that many things you can get for defense. The best you can get is rune armor, which, okay, sure. But the best that you can get without going to the Grand Exchange is a mithril kite shield. And then prayers. I'm pretty sure you can use... Are these members? I don't know if any of these are members. I think you can use all prayers. It's just grinding prayer XP is a bitch in free-to-play. It is so difficult. Grinding magic is even harder, because you have little to no access to runes. Your access to runes are you can buy base elemental runes. You can buy base and mid-tier spellcasting runes. You can buy chaos, and you can buy... I believe you can buy the Chaos and this one, Mind. I believe that's it. You cannot buy utility runes, you cannot buy death runes or higher. So you're severely stunted in magic. Rune crafting. You can't craft any utility runes. You cannot craft any spell runes, any attack runes, other than mind. The only utility rune you can even make is a body rune. And body runes are the most useless rune in the game, as far as I'm aware. I don't know about other spellbooks, but in the base spellbook, they are completely useless. You don't get access to any other spellbook but that in free-to-play. You can't do construction, so that's this entire thing over here. You can't do one of these skills, and all of these skills are severely stunted, to the point where getting them to 50 is basically as high as you would ever need to go in free-to-play. Yeah, you could grind them higher so that you can have a higher max hit, or so that you can hit a bit more frequently, but it's practically useless. There's no new weapons or armor you get past 50. And then your hit points. Your hit points aren't as stunted. You can do basically everything, as far as I'm aware, that is available. Oh no. Yeah, you can't do any of this shit, but that doesn't matter. You can't eat half the food in the game. You can't get the equipment that it helps with HP. HP's slightly stunted. And it's only stunted because you can't do mini-games. And then agility's completely gone. Herblore's completely gone. Thieving's completely gone. You can't do any of those. All three are extraordinarily useful. Thieving unlocks a very good way to earn money. Except for the good way to earn money, even if you could do thieving in free-to-play, it would not exist because you can't get the artisan. Right? So thieving is completely useless. If Herblore existed, you wouldn't be able to do it anyway, because you can't do Druidic Ritual in free-to-play. It's outside of the free-to-play area, so you can't even unlock Herblore to train it. And then there's construction. Construction is one of, if not the worst stunted skill in free-to-play. Because the only skills that I can think that could be worse is mining and smithing. Crafting, you can't craft 90% of things. The things that you can craft, most of the time you cannot enchant. Actually, you can enchant them, but you can't use the enchanted versions. And since they're enchanted, you can sell them only to a general vendor, which isn't going to make you much money. And the only way to level it up in any decent fashion is by making tiaras, which are the worst XP ever. 52.5 XP per craft. It's awful. It's atrocious. It is actively annoying. It's completely useless unless you're going to make an amulet of strength at 50 or an amulet of power at 70, which are two very simple, very easy to obtain items in Member, but extremely painful to get in free-to-play if you can't buy on the Grand Exchange. Fletching, Slayer, and Hunter are all gone. There's two skills in that middle column that you can use. Your hit points and crafting. Everything else is just gone. You can't make 90% of the crafts. And the shit that you can make isn't very useful. Except for a few necklaces. And maybe a single pair of boots and gloves. So that you actually have boots and gloves. Because you can't really get boots nor gloves in free-to-play other than crafting. And, like, there's no reason to get crafting above like 20 if you're going for boots and gloves. Mining, a massive pain. There's no reason to really get it above 60. And the only reason to get it to 60 is so that you can go and use the mining guild section of the Falador mine. That's it. Smithing, also pretty useless. Yeah, you could mine and smith your armor, but would you rather spend 4.5 months grinding, mining, and smithing so that you can make rune armor, or would you rather go and just grind for a few hours or a day or two to be able to buy rune armor? I know which one I prefer. I'd rather spend a few days than a few weeks. I already said that fishing was stunted. Cooking's also stunted. You can only really cook the fish that you fish. And a few select other items like bread and maybe a few pies. And that's it. You don't have access to the majority of the cooking, and the things that you can cook are mediocre. They're mid-tier or lower items. Fire making, completely fucking useless. A fucking complete and utter gash. There's literally no reason to ever fire make. The only reason to use fire making is for a few select dungeons that require a fire. And the fires that you want for those dungeons aren't available to free to play. And those dungeons aren't available to free to play. So the skill's entirely useless outside of just having another skill to train. Wood cutting. There's no point in getting it past 60. There's no trees to chop down past 60. You can chop down yew. You can chop down normal trees, oak trees, willow trees, maple trees, and then yew trees. The only maple trees that you can even access are locked behind Dragon Slayer 1 and free to play. Making it so that either you finish Dragon Slayer 1 to train up your woodcutting more in a faster way, or you just grind willow all the way to yew. It's awful. There's also no use for the yew at all, other than fire making, so there's no reason that it should even be available. The most you can do with yew in free-to-play is fire make with it. That's it. That is the most that you can do with yew. You might be able to craft something with it, I have no clue. It's pretty useless though. Farming, completely gone, you don't get access to it. So every single skill, except for prayer, is stunted in some way. And prayer is even stunted in a way. It's stunted in the way that you can't train it that efficient. You can barely train it at all. The only training that you can do for prayer is burying normal bones and burying giant bones, and scattering some ash. And maybe some demonic ash from the fucking demon in the wizard tower. You know, if you want to fight with the 50 other people trying to use it. It's awful. Like, free to play is just all around awful. No money making method. All the skills are less than half what they are. You're stunted to less than a quarter of the map. You can't even access all of that area of the map. And one of your skills is entirely useless. Yeah. The free-to-play in this game can be summed up pretty much as a stunted experience of the game. You cannot efficiently boss unless you're going to grind better gear. Like, actively grind to a fucking adamant or rune sin if you're doing melee. Or you would have to actively grind out rune drops from enemies to be able to boss if you're doing magic. And if you're doing fucking ranged, for some fucking reason, you would have to grind enemies at the bottom of the fucking stronghold of security just to get adamant arrows. You can't even get rune arrows. The only thing that drops rune arrows that I know of is in the Wilderness Slayer Cave, so you can't even fucking get rune arrows in free-to-play. Your best are adamant. I don't even think you can use rune arrows if you bought them off the Grand Exchange. It's that fucking bad. If they gave people the ability to fletch and do agility, and let people actively make fucking rune arrows, I think that free-to-play would actually be a fun time. Like, you don't even have to give them access to more of the map. If they can do those two fucking things, then it becomes so much less tedious and painful to play. It also makes it so that member is less of an annoyance, less, what's it called? Less overwhelming. There's not a lot that'll be unlocked. There's still a lot that'll be unlocked. It'll just be to a lesser extent. They'll have access to 2 more skills. They'll have access to 1 new fucking item. Rune arrows. And some unstrung bows. Maybe even a fucking crossbow. That's not complete and utter trash. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird that free-to-play is as stunted as it is. Why would you choose to actively restrict yourself to 15 to 20% of the game? Like, I understand challenge runs in games. I don't understand challenge runs in MMOs. They are a thing. They are a thing that people actively do and seek out. After having played the same MMO for years, sometimes decades, they are things that happen when people get bored. If people never got bored of this game, and there was always shit for them to do, what would happen? There would not be challenge runs. People would be too busy doing their actual fucking main account, right? But people's main accounts, some main accounts for people who have been playing since the game, since like RS1 came out, those people who played almost every day since RS1 came out and are still playing OSRS today, those people's accounts have been maxed. They've done everything for like a decade now. Like, they've been completely done with the game for years. I don't know how old this game is. I don't really give a damn how old this game is. I'm pretty sure it's only 10 years old. People who have been playing it since day one are, for OSRS, I'm pretty sure people who have been playing since day one are probably maxed for 5 to 6, maybe 7 years. Probably longer than that. I understand that people can max an MMO. People max out fucking Black Desert Online, which is obscene. People do not, like, complete the game. They just max a character. The character's got the best skilling gear. It's got the best combat gear. And that's it. People don't go for max levels, because there isn't max levels in that game. They just exponentially scale. Level 1 to level 2 could be 100 XP, and then level 2 to 3 would be 200, and then 3 to 4 would be 400, and so on and so on and so on. It would just double every single time from the previous level, to the point that level 60 is considered like a pinnacle in that game. I'm pretty sure that the highest person was level 67 or 68. And they literally just leave their computer on doing AFK XP grinding. Constantly. Because it's the best way to get XP in that game, for them to stay at the top of the leaderboard. That's it. No one in that game will ever be the top of every single leaderboard while also having every useful item in the game. They will not have the best skilling gear, the best combat gear, on top of having all of the utility in the game. It is not possible. The items are to the point of, they are rare enough to the point that it is obscenely difficult to get them, and requires more years than the game has been out to obtain. That is, one, not good content, but it'll keep people from being bored. Although, their way of doing that is bad. Very, very bad. How do they keep people from getting bored? They just try to get people to go for number one in leaderboards, which is practically impossible if you're newer to the game than someone that started day one. Getting sailing to the level that you can even build the best boat in that game requires more than, I believe, 4.5, maybe 5 months of constant sailing. Because sailing gives you XP for parts of the map you've discovered. You get chunks of sailing XP. Once you've completely unlocked all of the map, well, that sailing XP is gone. The only other XP you can get is for just sailing around, which gives minimal XP. It's the equivalent of, if you go into Magoria, which is the part of the sea where you can't see where you are unless you have a compass. If you go there, and what you do is unlock all of it, you'll get probably a couple levels out of it. Maybe 30, maybe 35 for unlocking every single piece of the map. You're gonna want to get like fucking 50, 60 levels, somewhere in that range. And you'll get like a 10,000th of the XP an hour for actively sailing around. And then on top of that, the grind for the utility items is so bad. The grind for the infinite potions is not as bad as the other utility. The map and the compass, I've talked about them before. The grind for the map and the compass, people have been doing since those items came out and have still not gotten. People with one or the other, if not both, which I don't think that there's that many people that even have both. There would probably be one or two total in the entire game. Maybe more now. Those people are so highly valued by the biggest of clans, they can get basically anything they fucking want. It's insane. And that game doesn't even compare to other MMOs. Because its way of keeping its player base is that bad to the point where it's just constant grind after grind after grind. This is a grind after grind after grind. But these grinds, other than this, aren't as bad. If you want to grind Slayer, cool. You're going to grind Slayer. But Slayer's not going to be you sitting there killing the King Black Dragon 1,000 times to get one level of Slayer. It's going to be you either doing Konar or Wildy Slayer to 99. And if you do Konar or Wildy Slayer, they're going to tell you 100 different fucking enemies an hour to go fucking kill. And Konar will tell you even where you have to go kill them. It's going to be something different to do all the time. You might even need to swap between magic range and melee gear. It's not something that you can just mindlessly do. You could actually die doing it while actively having fun. Compared to, what am I doing? I'm full, whatever. Anyway. The grinds in this game can be fun. There are grinds that are not fun. There are grinds that are fun. I've not done any Slayer yet. At all. I have done 0 Slayer ever in my life in this game. Just from the mediocre level of research that I have put into Slayer to know about it, I know that it's going to be fun. It's not going to be the most repetitive thing I've ever fucking done. It's not going to be me sitting there grinding for one of 4 compass pieces for 4.5 months just to get fucking shit on by the game. It's not going to be me grinding for the head of a fucking tiger in the new area of Black Desert Online for 7+ months with no progress. It's not going to be bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. It's going to be me actively enjoying the game while grinding, which is incredibly good. If this game did not have enjoyable grinds, I would not play it. Like, every single MMO has a grind. There's not an MMO in the world that does not have a grind of some kind. There's fucking normal games. There's Mario games with grinds in them. Like, a lot of the recent Mario games have grinds. Grinds are an innate part of a lot of games. MMOs specifically, though, have a lot of grinds. It's in their nature. They need to have grinds. Because if they don't have a grind for something, if something's not hard to get while being useful in some way to someone, then no one's gonna go for it. Either everyone would have it if it's not hard to get, and if it's not useful, then no one will go for it but a completionist. Most, if not all, items in this game have a use of some kind. It's not you grinding for something to flex with. It's not you grinding so that you can have one item that no one else has just so you can flex. It's you grinding to have that one item no one else has yet so that you can have it and use it. It's never about you fucking just grinding for the hell of it. Meanwhile, that's exactly how BDO works. Oh, I'm gonna grind in this area because it's the best XP and I want to be number one on that leaderboard. That's it. That's how it works the entire time. Not everyone works like that. Not everyone wants to be number one. I know how it feels to be number one in games. Yeah, it's a good feeling. Who cares? Like, if that's your thing, go for it. I was the number one chatter in a couple of Discord servers, and when the owners of those servers turned out to be complete utter fucking shitbags, I left. There's a Discord server that I left 3 fucking years ago. I am still the number one chatter in that Discord, evidently, with like over 20,000 fucking messages. I left the server because it was a YouTuber's that I was watching at the time. It was their Discord server. That YouTuber's a shitbag. He had a moderator that was helping him moderate his Discord server. Basically, all the moderator did was, make sure people follow the fucking rules. Exactly what it says on the fucking rules page of the fucking server. And those moderators got shit-talked behind their back, which I didn't fucking like. Which it was brought up to the YouTuber's attention, and the YouTuber just shit-talked the moderators. So I fucking left. I'm not having them shit-talk my friends. That's, no, bad. Bad. Stupid. You may have gone from like 0 subs to like 20,000 subs in a matter of a week. I don't give a damn. You could be fucking PewDiePie for all I give a damn. You could be someone with 1 billion subscribers on YouTube. Someone who gets 1,000 subscribers on Twitch a day. I don't give a damn. You don't shit talk people for doing what you ask them to do. That's called you being a fucking horrible person. I'd never try to say the name of people that I shit talk unless they're funny. If they're funny to listen to, sure. Don't shit talk people to talk about. I don't give a damn. If you do or don't, just don't do it to their fucking face. Don't do it behind their back either. Like, I'm saying this publicly. I don't fucking like some of these people. They're fucking shitbags. And if people are idiots, I'll let them know they're fucking idiots. But the reason why I won't say that fucking shit MMO's name. I've said its developer, but I've not said the game's name. But the reason why I won't say that shit MMO's name is because I don't want, if somehow, someday, someone fucking sees this and decides, wow, that game's so shit, I'm not gonna look into it myself so that I can form my own opinion about this shit game. And they just go and leave a negative review on that game on Steam. Or if they go and leave hate or something somewhere to the developers of the game. I don't want that. Same thing goes for people with fucking shitbag YouTubers or streamers. people are being fucking awful, yeah, feel free to fucking call them out. I don't give a damn. But if I think someone's awful, and someone hears me say that I think that person's awful, and they've never seen or heard of that person before, I don't want them to go and hate on that person just simply because I don't fucking like them. It is the dumbest of shit. I'm pretty sure most people are normal. Most people are sane, and most people are actively good people. I'm not gonna ever watch that guy's YouTube content ever again. Simply because, why would I if I know that he's an awful person? If you think I'm an awful person, if you disagree with me and what I think, I don't give a damn. You can leave comments, you can come into chat, shit talk me all you fucking want. At least you're fucking forming an opinion about shit that I've said. Unless you're fucking not, and it's someone else just shit talking me and you came to fucking hate for some reason. Which I don't think anyone would ever do, because no one knows who the fuck I am. People are shitty. It's fucking awful. I hate it. Like, I don't understand how someone can think like that for some people. Like, if you got hired to do a construction job and your boss told you, I need you to move this pallet of, let's say, bricks or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. And then you get keys to the forklift or whatever, and you take it where it's needed. And then your boss just shit talks you in front of the entire company publicly about how shitty of a person you are for listening to them. That is not good. That's bad. That's stupid. It is the dumbest thing that can ever happen and ever be said. It's not really, it's just the shittiest way a person can ever act. I'm still pissed off about it, and that happened literal years ago. That happened I'll fucking scroll through it. I'll find it eventually. I just have to scroll through, like, Couple years worth of shit. Yeah, there's his name. I'm about back to it. This was 2 years ago. I thought that it was longer ago. Weird. Yep. It's been just under 2 years. Yeah, 2 fucking years. And I'm still fucking pissed. I really shouldn't be doing what I'm about to do. Oh, he's completely stagnated. He's like a carbon copy of Aliens Rock and fucking Frost Prime. But he's completely stagnated now. He's at the same fucking numbers that he had 2 years ago. He's literally got 0 anything in 2 years. Ever since that shit happened. Which I can't say that I'm upset about. I think that's fucking great. Actually, I think he's just completely fucking gone now. Yeah, he's just completely fucking disappeared off the face of the internet. That makes me feel a little better. Shitty people being fucking gone. Why is it always shitty people? Like, legitimately? I've met at least one shitty person that has ruined literally everything a year for the past 3 to 4 years. Like, the first one that I met ruined literally everything. All of my plans for fucking life, everything. Gone out the fucking window. Can't do them anymore. Fucking gone. Because of them. And then the past few has just been me getting caught up in fucking drama for no fucking reason. I'm completely fucking antisocial. So people saying that I'm doing, things like talking to people about someone behind their back, which I'm doing right now, except for it's not behind their back, I'm doing it on stream. It's going to be on the internet for the rest of fucking time. They can figure out who they fucking are themselves. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't remember. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, just a bunch of bullshit. One, I wouldn't be as fucking bad off right now if I didn't meet the first person. I wouldn't have most of my friends if I didn't meet the other ones. Hell, the second fucking one wasn't even a person, it was a whole fucking clan of people in Black Desert. Literally, my entire life was ruined by the first one. Then on top of that, I wouldn't know, like, 75% of my friends if I didn't meet them. And then on top of that, fucking... if I never came out as trans, then I would have never fucking lost all of my friends, but like one. Which is fine, because if most of them are shitty to the point that I don't even want to talk to them or be around them, and if they're gonna like shit talk trans people, that's fucking not cool. Right? So, yeah. I came out when? Actually, I can figure out when. I just have to take a month off of that server's creation date. bad. This server used to be popping off. I was the owner of one of the biggest servers for PvE in that shitty MMO that I've talked about a lot. Right? Anyway, there used to be a group chat for this until I went and made this server filled with a bunch of deleted users and other people that I used to be friends with. Filled with a few people that fucking hated me. I believe either 2019 or 2018 is when I first came out. And that's when I first started to be more social. But on top of that, that's when I started to be mute. I wouldn't talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And then that got beat out of me. I could still be mute on Discord, but I couldn't do it in real life anymore. Because if I did, I would get beat. I still prefer not to talk. I don't like talking. I completely hate my voice. It's fucking awful. I don't give a damn if people like my voice or not. People can like my voice if they want. I'm not going to. Right? But if I could, I would not speak at all. Which I know is not good for someone streaming. It's not good at all. There's very few mute streamers and mute content creators. They don't get a lot of traction. The few that there's literally a singular one that I can think of off the top of my head, and that's Chromia. Chromia uses a text-to-speech bot and streams VR chat and other games. I don't have any of that shit. I would not be interesting at all to watch, because look at the gameplay you're watching. If I never spoke and it was just this, no one would watch this. I mean, eventually, if I just uploaded the same stuff day after day for like 5+ years, maybe I'd get 100 fucking subs. Maybe I'd get a couple thousand views. Who knows? I'm not doing it right now, am I? I'm not good at the games I play. I'm not good at thinking out what I'm saying. In fact, I'm pretty fucking awful at wording what I'm saying. I'm complete and utter trash at choosing my words. Which isn't surprising. I was mute and had literally zero social interaction with people for upwards of a year. On top of that, I was completely introverted and didn't have, like, any friends prior to that. Of course I'm socially stunted. Like, okay, the most I ever did before I came out was I typed a message to someone in Roblox like 10 fucking years ago. That's the most social interaction I've fucking had before I came out fucking 4 years ago. Which is fucking abysmal. Most of my social interaction back in the day, over 4 years ago, 5+ years ago, was me being either completely mute or partially mute. Or it was the most basic of things. Hi, expensive. They're fine, I guess. But yeah, 4+ years ago, the most social interaction I had was sending a message to random people once every half a year and not voice chatting with like anyone. I've just been sitting here talking about the past. And why I'm so shitty with my words. No. Expensive. If I had my way right now, I would not be speaking at all. I would be completely mute right now. You weren't here when I was talking about this, but I was completely mute. I did not speak a word for upwards of a year. And then I got that shit beaten out of me, and now I can't do it anymore. I prefer not to talk. Doesn't make good content, for one. So I can't do it on Twitch. I mean, I could. There's mute streamers. It's just a lot harder. Like, as I said, the most social interaction I had was maybe sending a message to a person randomly and sporadically with months in between messages, with little to no voice chat between people, and literally zero physical interaction with people outside of going to school. So it makes sense why I'm fucking awful with my words. Why I'm fucking completely socially stunted. I was completely socially and emotionally stunted because when people would go out and do something, I was always the one that was left out of it. If my brother and his kids, my two brothers, one's 13 years older than me, the other one is 26 years older than me, and then my sister's like 30 plus years older than me, when any of them and their kids would go to the park and go play or do something, I would be the one left out. If they wanted to go fucking rollerblading, I wouldn't go. I would kind of be the kid sitting in the corner playing with Legos or playing Pop Tropica on a computer in the corner or playing fucking Webkins. I mean, I wasn't always like that. Evidently, according to people that are not me, I was a very extroverted person for quite a while. Until something happened that I can't say on Twitch or YouTube. And then on top of that, I got my nose broken in school. In middle school. And I don't even remember the reason. I don't think that there was a reason. I just got cornered in the fucking bathroom and punched in the face. Do you want to change your personal interaction or... Huh? I'm confused. You remember when Bo was in the voice chat trying to tell me where the mine in Falador was? Where the mine entrance in Falador was? This thing right here. And I kept talking over him. Yeah. I blame that on me being beat when I was mute to make me stop being mute. Because now I can't shut the fuck up. You see, not being able to shut the fuck up, paired with not being able to properly word shit or know exactly what you're feeling is pretty fucking bad. When I was mute, on the real life end of things, when I would not talk to people, I would not talk to teachers, I would not talk to other people my age, I would not talk to my parents or anyone. And that got beat out of me. So then I was forced to talk, to answer questions, to do a bunch of other shit. Like, I would answer shit by just writing shit down before. I don't do that anymore. So now I don't shut up unless people tell me to. Which isn't good. On top of that, there's other bullshit that happened. My aunt's dog died while my family was staying at their house. No one killed their fucking dog. Their dog just started foaming out of the mouth and just keeled over dead in like a matter of 10 minutes, and I was the one blamed for it. Me, the person that interacted with people to the least degree possible. Because it's, easy to blame the person that doesn't defend themselves. even if that person, you know, was seen by literally everyone not doing anything. Just let people speak and react to what they say. It's not easy. That's not easy to do. I don't know. The conversation is otherwise really shit. Why isn't it easy? Because I feel like I need to always speak. I feel like I need to be the opposite of how I used to be. It's hard to take a childhood beating because of something and then just you know, try to tone it down a little bit. It's either that or the opposite. It's never an intermediate. It's either not talk at all, or it's always talk. And if you always talk, you piss people off. If you never talk, you piss people off. And the in-between isn't easy to find, for me. When people talk, I'll talk. When people don't talk, they don't talk. Funerals are the hardest thing ever. At all. Because there will be 100+ people in a single room. The room will be really quiet with people basically whispering to each other, but you'll hear like the mumble of people talking constantly. And then it makes you feel like you need to talk. Or at least me. It makes me feel like I need to talk because there's a lot of sound. The sound's not very loud, but there's a lot of it, and a lot of people whispering to each other across the entire room makes it sound like there's people talking constantly at normal volume. So you start to do it, and then people look at you. I don't like being looked at. I have a phobia of being looked at. I don't fucking like it. It fucking sucks. So if I'm ever in a big group, I just shut my fucking brain off. I can't cope with it. I don't like people. People are awful. People are the worst thing to happen to the planet since life. Yes, you're awful, I'm awful, everyone's awful. People are awful. Here, I'll reiterate a story that I said from right before you got here. About 3 years ago, not 3 years, about 2 years ago, there was a YouTuber who was picking up a lot of traction, and so I joined their Discord server. I was the #1 chatter. I would always be talking. I'm still the #1 chatter, even having left the server 2 years ago. People fucking evidently don't know who the fuck I am in there and are really annoyed that I'm still #1 even though I've not been in the server for a year and a half plus. But the reason why I left said server is because the YouTuber had some moderators, and those moderators literally just tried to enforce the rules, you know, like a moderator does. Right? and people would shit talk those moderators for being so up their own ass, as they would say, even though all they would do is try to keep the entire Discord server from going into a hellscape because people were always going against the rules constantly. They didn't time out or kick people from the server or ban people for breaking the rules unless that's what was in the rules, right? So then when the situation was brought up to the YouTuber shit talked the moderators publicly. The moderators were my friends. The two moderators that got shit talked were my friends. So they left, and I fucking left, and announced the entire fucking place for being a shithole, because it was a shithole. It was just a big group of shitty people. There were like a couple dozen good people out of the like 200 people that were there. But like a couple dozen compared to a couple hundred is pretty shit. Not everyone is that shitty, but people are shitty. Some select few people are just even shittier. I'm not saying you're that shitty, but you're a person, so you're obviously shitty. I don't like being around people. People fucking terrify me. What am I doing? I keep accidentally going onto the pyramid after getting a full inventory. Because I'm not paying attention, I'm too busy talking. I never said that you were like the absolute scum of humanity. I just personally think that all people are awful. Like, there's a scale. There is no people that are not awful in some way. You may not think that you're awful in some way, but I'm awful. Everyone's awful in some way. What way are you awful? Who the fuck knows? I don't know you enough to say. $87 agility today? Hell no. This 87 agility is roughly 21, not 21, it's roughly 11 to 12 hours of grinding. From 86. Like, it's obscene. It's a lot. We are to the point that agility is going to take multiple days per level. See? It's just under 4 million XP needed. Thought you wanted 16 mil in 10 days? You know that I can get that money by doing roughly 7 to 8 hours a day, right? 7 to 8 hours of this a day gets me enough money for everything. It gets me 2 bonds and enough money to get to 83 construction. I didn't do 7 to 8 hours yesterday though, I did 5. Which is bad, because that means that I have to do like 8 hours today. No, I need to do 10 hours today to make it up, technically. But if I do 8 hours every day, I'll make it up and then some. Divide, so I need 12 mil, plus I would need 3.3 mil on top of it. Let's just round that up, because I also need another 0.5, so 3.8 mil plus the 12 mil. So let's round that up to 4 mil plus 12 mil, that's 16 mil. I need just under 16 mil technically, but we'll say 16 mil, right? So, at 16 mil, you then divide that by 150,000. And then 16 mil divided by 150,000 is 106. I need to do 106 full inventories. Sorry, 107, because it's technically 106 and 2/3. So I need to do 107 laps of this. You multiply this number by 40, because that's 40 minutes each. Divide that number by 60 for hours, that is 71 hours. Just over 71 hours. 71.1 with a bar notation. Hours of pyramids. As long as you get 150k every 40 minutes, which is what I do on the pyramid. Also, at 88 agility, you max the amount of XP you get on the pyramid. You'll get 1,722 XP per lap. So yeah, just under 72 hours, or just under 71 and a quarter. Still no pet though? Yeah, we'll get it eventually. Don't worry. You might see me actively grinding this to 120, by the way. Not for the money, but for the levels. And also for one other thing. So, Expensive, I have a question for you. How do you check who's like the #1 for laps on a pyramid? I'm curious. Because all I've found about the agility pyramid is that someone tried to go from 55 to 99 on the agility pyramid on Reddit. I assume if I do like 20,000 laps, I'll probably be like #1. If I can get to 120 off this fucking pyramid, I'm gonna say that I have done the most laps out of everyone. I doubt that most people have done more than that. And if someone has, oh well, fuck them. Actually, look, 9 days left. I did 5 hours, so minus 5 from 72. And then divide that number by 9. 72 minus 5 divided by 9 equals I need to do 7.5 hours a day. So if I do 10 hours today, then I get to do less every other day. If I do 10 hours tomorrow as well, then I get to do even less. I want to get that number down to needing less than 6 hours a day. So I need to do more than 7.5 hours until that number's down enough. If I do 10 hours today, tomorrow, and the day after, I think I can get it down to roughly 5.5 hours. The issue is that this is fucking boring. Eventually. No, this is how I normally do it. Here, we'll do this for a second. Normally, I mute the music, and I unmute it when I turn off looping. And this is how I normally grind. With no music, because normally the music's over. For entire, days on the pyramid. Yeah, that's what I meant. What? What do you mean? I can do this grind while watching anime or YouTube. That's what I normally do off stream. Hell, sometimes I watch YouTube on stream too. If I'm doing something like this. If I'm actively doing other shit, then yeah. Hey, it gets repetitive, but hey, you do this, I guess. That's the thing. I find this less repetitive than the thieving that I would have to do from the knights. Because the knights would not only be repetitive, but they fucking move. Unless I'm blackjack. Can I even blackjack a fucking knight? I need a roughly 400,000 to make my kitchen. But yeah, I am at 70 construction. If I get 3.5 mil, I'll have enough money to then buy enough laws. Yeah, that's the issue. I know that I want to do Sins of the Father to get Day Alt Essence to train my runecraft. I want to train my runecrafting at Orania. I want to. I don't have to, but I want to. Which brings up the entire issue of needing herb lore. Sins of the Father needs me to get 60 fletching, 56 crafting, 50 slayer. And I need the herb lore to train up my slayer, I believe. It also requires a bunch of prerequisite quests that I believe require herb lore. But having the Day Alt Essence will just be good. I have a question, Expensive. Can I store the tiaras? Like the mind, the blood, the soul, all of the different tiaras. Because if I can store the tiaras, then I can train. I believe I need... Do I need 30 runecraft to use the Orania altar? I need to check. Orania altar. I don't think you need any levels to use this. 71 magic. I need 71 magic. And then I need to do medium artisan diary. Which I'm gonna need anyway for thieving, so. Yeah, I need to do Lunar Diplomacy, get 71 Magic, and complete Sins of the Father. Those are my 3 requirements to start leveling up Runecraft the way I want to. The most common rune should be death runes. So I should have a good stockpile of death runes. Doing Orania Altar. I believe that they all add up roughly to the same percentage, except for like soul runes and air runes. Okay. I'm gonna look up Blood Tiara, because that's the one that I really want to know about. Is Blood Tiaras. The item was added to the game but unobtainable in 2005, and then removed with the release of Koran in 2016, and then made available last year. So Blood Tiaras have not existed for that long. Blood Talisman. Doesn't seem like I can store it. The tiaras are currently going up in price. Weird. So basically, it wants the math wants me to earn roughly 1.6 mil a day for me to earn money. But since I didn't earn that the first day, I technically have to earn a touch more than that. Not much more, but a bit. Since I have 9 days left to get it. But I would prefer to do it in the first 8 and leave the final day for me to go put orders in. We probably won't earn enough for 2 bonds. That's me wanting to be optimistic, but we should be able to earn a bond and the money for the 83 construction as well as a full kitchen. That should be easy. It's earning the second bond that I want to. That is the hard part. Because if I reduce it to 1 bond and then the other shit, that's 6 mil gone off of the necessary grind. That's a lot less grind. That is 30 hours less. Yeah, that's 30 hours less. So I technically don't need to do this entire grind at once. I would like 2 bonds. I would like them. It's not necessary. And I probably won't get it. Because I get bored. And when I get bored, I do something else. And that does not work well with something like this grind. If I had the blood room access already, me doing even 30 hours of bloods, holy hell, I would have so much fucking money. I would have 15 mil, wouldn't I? Yeah. No. It's 5,000 an hour, isn't it? Unless you use the real blood altar, then it's a mil an hour. That'd be 30 mil, which is insane. Yeah. Technically speaking, I don't even need to do fucking 5 hours a day to earn a bond and the rest of the money that I need. I only need to do so many hours because I want 2 bonds. Oh, well, nice. Welcome back, by the way. I was looking into working from home like a while back. I think I've already said this. I don't know if you were here when I said it, but I was looking into specifically like taking calls, which is really easy because normally you're just handed a script and shit for shit like that, right? And all of the companies looking for people to do that they only wanted people in Cali and New York for some fucking reason, which makes no sense for a job that you can do at home. There's a fire in a tree. I wish we had trains here. Too bad the US is still stuck in the 16th century. The train companies here fucking suck as well. As far as I'm aware, people who work for the train companies don't get paid well. And if I recall, they don't know when their shift is until like 5 minutes before their shift. Yeah, that's why there's a lot of suicides for people that drive trains here. Because their jobs fucking suck. Because the companies that run the rails here fucking suck. Where at? In the US. The US rail lines are owned by private companies that all suck. There's like, I don't think that the federal government owns like any rail lines actually. Where in the US? The entire US. I live over in the east, but as far as I'm aware, it's fucking awful everywhere. Like, if the rail. So, as far as I'm aware, some of the companies, maybe not all of them, but I'm pretty sure most of them, don't let people send a lot of stuff via the rails. Like, fuck, what's it called? They don't let a lot of packages, no matter what it is, go on the fucking rail lines. Because it's not as profitable for them. Meanwhile, if they did, shit would get everywhere in the US a hell of a lot faster than trucking it in everywhere. If the rail system was actually good, trucking would not be a fucking job. Literally the entire industry of trucking, cargo, that's the word. The entire cargo shipment industry of trucking would not fucking exist if our rail system was good. Because the rails can get it done a hell of a lot faster. Fuck no. No one would ever fucking elect my dumbass to do a damn thing. The US is very fucking classist. They'd see, oh, this person didn't finish high school, they must be a dumbass and not know what they're talking about. Like, you could be the smartest person in the world. If you don't fucking pass high school, if you don't do like X, Y, or Z, people are gonna look down on you here. Oh, you didn't go to college for engineering, so who gives a damn if you just built a fucking robot that can perform like precision surgeries? I'm not going to. I can just say my fucking opinion. If other people want to do something about it that actually, have the fucking sway to do something about it, they can go do it. I have no sway. I have no clout. No one even comes to watch my streams. Look at you. There's 2 people here. And I'm pretty sure both of you are outside of the US, so neither of you could do anything about it either. I'm completely useless here. And people say, oh, write to your officials and all this other shit, right? Writing to your officials isn't gonna do a damn thing. It never fucking has. People have done that shit for fucking years about shitty things that have been proposed for laws and shit. The shit's never read, they never look at that. Like, if you want change, you have to make the change, either by spreading word of what change you want, or by actively fucking doing it yourself. Those are the only 2 fucking ways. Like, my opinions are probably really fucking controversial in the public affairs world. Well, is that even what it would be in? Whatever. My opinions are probably really fucking controversial, period, in whatever fucking wherever it's supposed to be. I don't fucking know. Words. My opinion is that normal, average people should not be able to drive. That's probably very fucking controversial here in the US. My opinion is that the rail system in the US should be entirely federalized. It should be entirely subsidized. And the highway system should, be used for its actual purpose. Like, its original purpose is literally meant to transport military convoys across the country fast. That's its entire use. That is its conceptual use, was to get land units across the states fast. Completely fucking redundant. You wouldn't be able to get, if someone was attacking California and we needed all of the military from the East Coast to go over to the West Coast, you would not make it there in time. The entirety of California would be burnt down by the time a single fucking tank or land unit would make it, because there's too much traffic. The infrastructure is so shit that you would not be able to get shit across. You would just fly it over because it's faster and easier than the logistics of trying to use the highway system. Meanwhile, if the rail lines were federalized, we could have actual competent transportation if the US stopped sitting on its ass and building car shit all over the place. And if people didn't have to drive everywhere and getting a license wasn't as easy, so easy that a 14-year-old kid can get a fucking license, then there'd be less fucking people dying to cars and less cars altogether, more people using good public transport. My attitude's not professional. My attitude is, fuck you, get out of the way so that shit can actually get done. Did you know that the US presidents rode on bulletproof trains back before the Air Force existed? That's how they got around the states, was by train. And then World War II happened. World War II evidently fucking demolished the US to such a degree that we went back 100 or 200 years. And, like, there's a bunch of other bullshit. You can do all the things yourself. Knowledge. What? I'm confused. What? Okay, 2 more. And we'll be about halfway. Hi. But I don't know. Alright, full inventory. I still don't understand the last message that you sent.
What did I send?
The one before the last one that you sent.
Well, can't see that one.
Dismiss the frogs. Oh, I can't dismiss the frogs because they're behind the gate. Even though dismissing something is normally you just fucking doing an emote at them. Evidently, I can't emote at something from behind a gate. I don't know what to do. I've made half a mil in the past 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Okay.
So technically, I don't need to earn 16 mil. I would technically only need 10 mil, right? 16 mil is if I get 2 bonds, right? If I take away the second bond, then that removes 6 mil. Which means that I only need to grind like 5 hours a day, which is just a mil a day, which is easy. So if I do more than 5 hours a day, I can guarantee myself 1 bond, a full kitchen, and level 83 craft construction.
That's nice, brother. Think I'm gonna start Slayer. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Do you know what all the requirements for Sins of the Father is? Like skill requirements. So I have all but 3 of them, but there's also the skill requirements for the other quests that I've not done, like In Search of the Myrique, In Aid of the Myrique, Darkness of Hollow Vale, A Taste of Hope.
Okay.
And since those require Nature Spirit, I assume that they're also going to require Herb Lore. Well, In Search of the Myrique only requires Agility. In 8 of them, I have all the requirements for that. Darkness of Hollow Vale, I have all of that. And A Taste of Hope. I need 40 Herblore and 38 Slayer. So yeah, I do need Herblore. I thought that I did need Herblore for training my Runecraft. It's a lot when getting 8 was a struggle.
Yeah, because you didn't know how to level it properly.
I still don't know.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm thinking of... So, you see how I've not used the planning channel recently? Like, at all, basically? I was thinking about putting something in there. Something useful. Herb lore stuff. I was gonna go through each and everything that you can make with herb lore that gives herb lore XP, and then list out every ingredient necessary, not the herbs, but the other ingredients to make the potions, and then seeing how many times they appear and what levels you can use them at, so that I could see what is used the most. Because if Eye of Newt is used in like 12 potions and it's the earliest potions you can make, then making shit with Eye of Newt would be very useful, because that means that you can just get a bunch of Eye of Newt for your potions to get your XP, instead of needing to go get like 50 different things to make a bunch of different potions.
Okay.
I'm thinking of doing that later today. I've got all the clue scroll stuff. I've got the Steam badge stuff. And then I'll have herb lore stuff. What else could I even put in there? I could put skill requirements for all of the achievement diaries.
Hey, bird egg.
What color?
Green.
The same one that I got.
Yep.
I could technically get 87 today. 88 I don't know about. What? How much XP do you need for 88? Is it like 4.5 mil? I assume it's like 4.5 mil.
Could be so.
Experience. For level 88, you need 4,385,776 total XP. Doing that would take me roughly, I believe, 15 plus hours, which is a lot.
No, you can do that.
200 mil. That's what we're gonna go for.
I don't believe you.
I'm gonna get it eventually.
No, I don't believe it.
The thing is, I think I know what I want to do for herb lore. I'm gonna do the math for the stuff, right? Not the math. I'm gonna do the list of everything for herb lore in the planning, like I said. And then, once I get to a high enough level, I think I'm gonna make stamina potions and nothing but stamina potions to 99. Because they're both useful. I can use them without even needing to be in combat. Because they're useful at all times, right? On top of that, it'll train my agility, because I'll have to go get Marks of Grace, right? And well, by the time that I'm training herb lore like that, I'll probably be 90 agility so I can go do the artisan course. I should embezzle money from the U.S. government. Totally. I should embezzle money from the U.S. government. Just get a job from the federal government and just embezzle all of the money. They won't notice. They won't notice $200,000 out of a couple trillion. Yeah, they would.
I got the hard wilderness diary done lately.
I know you said it in the chat.
Yeah, just before the update.
Yeah, I looked at the map and it seemed like nothing had changed except for there was a few more dungeon markers.
Is there?
It looked like that. Up in the top right corner, near the Fountain of Rune and Lava Dragon Isle, over near there, it looks like there's more.
True.
And there's more, there seems to be more dungeons up where the scorpions were.
Yeah.
It just looks like there's more dungeon markers, period. Although, there's probably not any new dungeons. It's probably just markers for old ones that weren't marked.
No, I think they are new.
Well, the ones up at the Scorpion area, they all say the same thing.
Yeah, those already were here.
Yeah, you should go to the Wilderness Slayer Cave. Go farm Laron keys.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's freaking packed at the moment. I will die.
So?
Yeah, so? Rather not.
You're not an Ultimate Iron Man. You won't lose everything.
Yeah.
And technically, Wilderness Slayer is the best Slayer for XP.
Why is that?
It gives you the most XP per hour.
That's bullshit.
Honar is second best, I believe.
So you're saying you get more XP per monster killed in the wilderness?
Well, isn't it like 1.5 times the Slayer XP for doing Wilderness Slayer?
No.
It was
Slayer
something.
points.
I know that it's just better.
Slayer points. Not XP, but
XP,
points.
points, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, there's a big difference, Diggy. Slayer is so low.
Is it as low as mine?
Yeah.
You're at 1 Slayer?
72, but it's hella slow. Hella low.
Do I have to buy everything that's in the fucking Slayer thing?
Not everything, but there are lots of things that will help you and get better XP.
Yeah, but like, do I need to get a fucking rock hammer?
Yes.
Wait,
Rock
but these say that they cost coins. So what's the point of Slayer points? What do Slayer points do?
Slay points give you the ability to cancel a task. It's the points you needed to upgrade a black mask into a Slayer helm.
Rewards: Gargoyle, Smasher, Slug Salter. Are these just like innate bonuses, all passives?
So for example, the rock hammer, if you have it and you have auto smasher, you don't have to manually click the hammer on the gargoyle when it is like low HP. So it auto smash for you. It's just the quality of life. But you also have ones that say extend task of a certain monster. And
Need more darkness. Point cost 100. Number of dark beasts assigned is increased to 110 to 135.
Exactly.
And then you can buy Slayer rings, broad bolts, broad arrows, herb sack, and rune pouch.
Yeah, rune pouch is good.
I would 100% just store laws, natures, and then have an empty slot because I don't know what to put in there.
Yep.
I mean, technically, I wouldn't need to store natures because the staff. The Brofita staff holds like 1,000, and that's plenty. Plus, it has like a 50% chance not to use one, doesn't it? Wow, imagine not having 99 fletching before doing Slayer.
Why want fletching so much? Tell me.
Dragon. Javelin.
We're not weird like you.
I just want funny haha weapon that had to be nerfed. It's fucking funny that the Dragon Javelin damage had to be lowered because Dragon Javelin in a fucking heavy ballista was too OP.
You've never had it in your hands, and yet you're...
Well, that's what the wiki says. The wiki said that the Dragon Javelin's damage was reduced because it in a heavy ballista was too strong.
Yeah, it was.
Even though a heavy ballista seems to be extremely stupid to get.
It was strong for PvPing.
Yeah, but PvP is garbage.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I just said it was good for that, so they nerfed it. It's never meant to use against monsters like you think. But you do you.
I'm gonna use it to fucking kill the King Black Dragon. I'm gonna kill all of the fucking bosses with it. Sounds like fun. Kill them with a crystal halberd and a heavy ballista.
Kill me already.
What if we put a crystal halberd in a heavy ballista? the most lopsided ammo. How strong would you have to be able to throw something like a halberd? Because those fuckers are heavy, aren't they?
I would assume they are. Let's see. Football prey.
So I have a question for you.
What's up?
If you had both a twisted bow and a bow of Fahrenheit, which one would you use?
I don't know. I'd never had them.
Well, the twisted bow is higher damage, right? But the bow of Fahrenheit is higher accuracy, right?
Yeah, so I guess you use it for... You use the BOFA for bosses with a lot of defensive stats, right? Or more. And a twisted bow just to deal a lot of damage on the ones that are very easy to kill. There you have my answer.
After this inventory, I'm probably gonna end stream because this will be 3 entire inventories, and technically, if I want 1 bond and the money for construction, I only need 5 inventory fulls a day.
You're already quitting?
No, I'll do more later.
Ooh.
I did 3 sessions yesterday, but I was really busy yesterday. That's why I didn't get to grind out the whole 7.5 hours.
You're busy?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, man.
What?
It's time for coffee. Do you still drink coffee, Lexus?
I mostly drink tea, but I drank coffee today.
Last time you said it was pretty shit, right? Your coffee.
I don't know what was wrong with that, with those few pots, but those ones tasted like shit. We're using a different thing of grounds now and they taste fine. I don't know if it did it. Expensive.
Some.
Type in chat.
Okay.
It did it. I had 0 feedback with it, which is weird. Oh, yeah, evidently there's a system update in 45 minutes. So I guess they're having issues with the update. So that's probably going to be a maintenance. Maintenance in 45 minutes.
Oh, true.
So they're probably having issues with the new update.
Yeah. It's always like that.
Did you even see what I did?
No.
You didn't?
Oh, did you give me moderator?
Yes.
Hey, thanks.
And I gave Sarah the VIP. Because the two of you show up a lot.
Thanks.
Sarah's
Yeah,
more sporadic though.
I'll try to be there all the time, but
You don't have to be.
I have work nowadays, so
You don't have to be. You can be here whenever you want.
yeah.
I have I don't even know how many mods I have. Our dashboard, let's look. I have in total 1 artist. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moderators. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 VIPs. And
So much.
I believe only one of those moderators shows up at least semi-consistently. And by semi-consistently, I mean once every month or two.
So I'm the only one. I'm the only one who's always there.
They used to be more active, but haven't been in the past few months. And by past few months, I mean like past 5 months. Because I had to stop streaming for like a few months. Because my computer was acting up. And I haven't been active since then.
It's appreciated, man. Thank you.
I have to update roles in Discord now. Because I have a role specifically for people who are moderator on Twitch. And I have a role for people who are moderator on Discord. Which I believe neither of those two have admin privileges. Because admin privileges lets people look at audit logs, I believe. I don't know. It's been like 8 months since I last looked at the rules. I don't know what. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Sarah's Discord is. So I can't do anything there. Five more laps, and then I have another inventory full. I'll end stream, and then I can go for a walk, come back in a bit.
Yeah, sounds good. Understandable. I don't know how you do it to do that pyramid almost every day, but respect.
This is a lot more than once every day. I have to do a minimum of how many laps? It's 15 per inventory, and I need to do 5 inventories. So 15 times 5. 75 laps a day at minimum.
Insane.
It's draining and I don't like doing it. That's why I start it so early, because I know that I won't do it all the time. Because either I can get busy or just not feel like it or get sick. And if I'm feeling sick, well, I'm not gonna play fucking old school RuneScape while I'm puking, will I?
Yeah, it's like, it's a shame you think you need to have Sins of the Fatherland to train rune crafting. Like,
I don't think it. I just want to do the Orania altar with Dayal. I don't technically need Dayal, but even then, I'd need to figure out where to farm for pure essence, because I still want to do Orania altar.
Yeah, it's like you're postponing the snowball, which is okay, but I wouldn't have done it. Or am I wrong?
I mean, so let's talk about the Binding of Isaac first. In the Binding of Isaac, there is a special thing that happens if you completely max out all 3 save slots. It's called 1,000,000%.
What?
And yeah, not a lot of people have 1,000,000% in the Binding of Isaac. And it's the stupidest bullshit ever. Because you have to completely max out the entire game 3 separate times to do it. And that sounds like fun, and I've been working on that for like a year. And I haven't even maxed out a single slave slot, so. Have you seen my Terraria world? Have I ever shown you it? I have to re-download Terraria. I have it saved on the cloud, so it's fine. But I have the largest world that you can make in Terraria, and I've been slowly chipping away at it, collecting every single block and storing them in a chest, and I believe that it's a couple billion blocks, maybe more than that.
Sorry, I have no knowledge about these games.
So the large world in Terraria is 2,400 blocks by 8,400 blocks. There are open areas where there's no blocks, that's just air, right? But I believe that on average there's a couple billion blocks, right? And I've been mining each and every one of those for like the past few years. The funny thing about Terraria is that Terraria won the Labor of Love Award on Steam every year except for this last year when Cyberpunk won it. Which still pisses me off, because Cyberpunk should not have won that award. But anyway, Terraria was supposed to have its last update, and then it had another update after that saying that it was the last update. And then it had another update after that saying that it was the last update. And now they're having another update. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Terraria is now having another update where they are doing a crossover with, I don't even remember, Dead Cells?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're having a crossover with Dead Cells in 1.4.5. So they've had 5 updates since their last update. 1.4 was the final update of Terraria. And then 1.4.1 happened. And then 1.4.2 happened, and they said that it was the actual final update. And then 1.4.3 and 1.4.4 happened, and now 1.4.5 is happening. It's really weird.
Damn, Slayer gives a lot of herb seeds. We need those.
I wonder how much you can do in old school RuneScape without ever leveling prayer. Like, with 0 prayer, without ever using prayer, period. How much could you do? Could you do the entire game? Could you beat the hardest of bosses? All of the raids? Like, what's the limit?
Yeah, I think you can, but not like the hardest content. I don't think so. Because you need to, yeah, they call it tick eating. So when they hit, you need to eat. If you don't have prayer, so you don't die. So you can do it.
Isn't there also like 0 tick fucking prayer? Yeah, you weren't here for like the first hour and a half of the stream, but I was shit talking free to play, and how shitty free to play is, and how it makes someone going from free to play to member feel kind of overwhelmed.
Was it?
Well, you're going from having access to about 20% of the map, and you don't even have full access to that 20% of the map. Then all of your skills are kind of stunted. The only one that's not as stunted is prayer and hit points. Every other skill is completely stunted. You cannot level them up that quickly. You cannot do most of the things with them. They're just completely fucking, like, ripped apart by the game. Because you can't do much with them in free-to-play. And then the skills that are introduced when you get member are all skills that you want high. You want your farming high. You want your herblore high. Thieving, hunter, slayer, construction, fletching, agility. You want all 8 of them high. So suddenly there's 8 new skills that you need to grind out because they're all incredibly useful in some way. There's also the other like 70% of all of the other skills in the game suddenly, and the rest of the map.
I don't believe it's overwhelming. I think as free to play, you learn certain skills and you learn the concept of the game.
I mean, yeah, you learn the absolute basics of the game, but like in free to play, you're not forced to learn prayers unless you're actively bossing with high stats. Then you are forced to learn prayers.
But that you can call overwhelming if you have to learn everything at the beginning at once.
Yeah, but if they have to learn a tiny bit more, then it makes member less overwhelming to some people. If agility and fletching were available in free to play, that would not be too overwhelming. No. Would it? But it would take some of the needing to suddenly grind out 8 skills away, because now it's only down to 6.
Like I said, it's a sales thing.
Like,
I don't want you to train agility in free to play due to the fact that people are gonna buy less bonds and stuff, right?
I mean, think about it like this. There's no reason to get your ranged over 30 other than hitting more often. You can't use any higher version of a bow. The highest you get is maple, and that unlocks at level 30. You cannot use rune arrows at all.
I mean, if you're normal account.
I'm pretty sure that they're fully locked behind member. Unless you can... I know that you can get them on the Grand Exchange, but I don't think that you can even use them. Because a maple short bow, I don't think can shoot them.
Yeah, you can...
and you can't use...
the worst bows with the best arrows.
You can shoot rune arrows, period. I thought that you had to get better bow. Oh, well, if you can shoot rune arrows, you can't make them, you can't obtain them any other way than Grand Exchange.
Yeah.
In free to play.
Yeah, it's extra shit for Ultimate Iron Man or Iron Man.
If you're an Iron Man, there's no reason to get over 30 other than hitting more frequently. Yeah. There's no reason to get that high. I think you need 40 in your melee skills and 55 in magic for high alch, and that's it. That's all you need. 55 magic, 40 in the melee skills, 30 in range.
Yeah.
And then for prayer, you'd want what? You'd want 43 prayer. There's not really a reason to go above that in free to play.
Yeah.
You also can't get a rune axe or pickaxe in free to play unless you're a normal account.
Rune axe you can. Pickaxe, I mean.
Rune pickaxe you can. It's the axe specifically that I meant.
I mean, you can if you hit high smithing level, but nobody's doing that.
Like, your options for melee in free to play is a mithril scimitar, a baronite mace, or you can grind out 90 plus smithing and mining to go make yourself a rune sim or adamant sim in the wilderness, because you can't get runite anywhere else.
I said the rune sword was the best sword, right? Or like
rune sim's best. Rune sim is the best that you can get.
Yeah, but then comes the rune sword, which you can buy.
The baronite mace is better in my opinion. But the baronite mace is locked behind RNG. Compared to the rune sword being something that you can just buy. Like, I got lucky. I got my baronite mace in like what, a few days of grinding. Some other people could get so unlucky that they don't even get one after a month.
Right.
You also don't even get access to special attacks. Like, I still have not used a weapon with a special attack. I still don't know how that fucking works. And that is a core part of the game, is it not?
You unlock it mid-level.
Okay, but it's still a core part of the game, is it not?
Not really.
Like, these things right here on my map, how many of them are usable in free-to-play? Prayers are usable, but you don't learn them in free-to-play. At least it doesn't teach you about them. How to, like, prayer flick or any of that shit. Even though that's, like, a core component of high-end bullshit, right? You don't learn anything about the special attacks, and your sprint is severely limited.
Yeah. The sprint part is a thing I agree to. That sucks. You can't buy anything.
If 3 of the 4 main components of the game, because I would say that everything up there on your map, your prayer, your hit points, your sprint, your special attack, your map, all of that shit, is incredibly important to the game. And 3 of them are severely limited in free to play. You don't learn how to prayer flick unless you're a members player coming back to free to play, or someone that's been playing for literal years. I don't know how to prayer flick, so my using of prayers in bossing is severely limited. You saw how I fucking fared against Obor, because I hadn't needed prayers. So it made it a much bigger issue.
Oh, you don't start with prayer flicking. That's the thing.
I know, but I couldn't even, like, keep prayers up. I didn't know how to fucking manage my prayers at all, because it didn't teach you. Like, prayer management and special attacks should be something that you can at least learn the rudimentary basics of. You shouldn't learn prayer flicking, but you should learn prayer management.
I mean, of course you couldn't pray flick yet, because you have never done it. It takes practice.
I know, but I should have learned prayer management in free-to-play. But I wasn't forced to learn prayer management. Also, I'm done. I'm just gonna... Should I end stream or should I raid? Is anyone streaming? Well, let's find out if anyone's streaming.
No idea.
No one's streaming. I'm just gonna end it.